Hello! Welcome, we're back! We're back! Hey, Soul Foundry, welcome! Says Happy Monday, stream all! Happy Monday! Happy Monday, one and all. Happy Monday, stream ya all. Pierogi Frenzy says your body betrays your degeneracy. Oh my god, is it that obvious? Welcome everybody, we're back. We're playing some more Disco Elysium. Welcome Pierogi Frenzy, welcome Soul Foundry, welcome anybody around the world who may be watching, including you, Mr. Prime Minister. Let's get into it. Let's see. I'm not saying which Prime Minister, but one of them is a big fan. I know for a fact. Okay, so we're here. Okay, Petey, you gotta use your brain. You gotta remember, we just did something. Because we were like, I was like, this is a good stopping point. What did I just... what did I just do? We have a level up, so that's good. Get a reality lowdown. We want to keep asking Joyce questions about reality. Okay. Find a way into the secret passage. Right. Find out who is in the Union box. Garta has told you some unruly Union men gather in the mess hall of the Whirling in Rags. They're not here today. Right. Close the waterlock on Wednesday. We're supposed to inspect the victim's body. Get ammonia from the gardener. It'll make it easier. We did do that and still effed up. Who made the call reporting the crime? We'll talk to Joyce. Joyce will fill us in on what we're supposed to be doing here. Soul Foundry says, I'm mildly addicted to Cyberpunk 2077. There's so much Japanese and Spanish in this game. That sounds kind of cool. I'm up for a Japanese and Spanish speaking future.
Good. What can I help you with?
Yeah. I've got some more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality?
Yes.
My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Where are we?
We're in Martinez.
Oh, we already did this.
Martinez is a dish. You would be excused for not knowing about it. I would be happy to.
What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Pierogi Frenzy, you've activated my trap card, which is complaining about Elden Ring. Pierogi Frenzy says, I decided to give Elden Ring another chance, and that was a mistake. I played Elden Ring on this channel, and I was very not hot on Elden Ring. Yeah. I think... I have a lot of opinions about Elden Ring, which are not always mainstream. But I think that it's not one that I like. Giants Badger says, I'm almost at the end of BG3. How's it going? Are they continuing to spring weird, unexpected twists on you? Okay, sorry. It's too late for what? She says, for the big time. Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth. Soul Foundry says, people keep trying to sell me on Elden Ring, and I feel it is a loading screen sim. It is a little bit of that. Okay, we're going to do it. Always. Here's my Elden Ring. And this might be true for other Souls-likes. I mean, I've played Souls-likes that were not FromSoft games. My real feeling of Elden Ring, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, Petey. Okay, here's the Elden Ring rant. Elden Ring, okay, is the experience of you go to a dungeon. You go to some friggin' cave that you find. And you walk in and something jumps out at you and kills you right away. And you go, well, now that I know... Hey, Sam the Geek, welcome. You go, now that I know that that's there, now I can be ready for it. And so you go, and now you're ready for the thing that jumped out and killed you, and you can do something about it. And then you take another 2 steps, and something else happens that kills you. Sam the Geek says, does Joyce do anything but lounge on her yacht? She gives us union-busting quests. And basically, Elden Ring is the same game design as the game Dragon Slayer, which, for old people or people who are interested in game design, is that game where it looked like a cartoon in the arcade, and basically you watched a cartoon and you had to press the right button at the right time, and basically the way that you win Dragon Slayer is to play Dragon Slayer enough times to be able to know all the buttons that you have to press and win Dragon Slayer that way. And I feel like Elden Ring shares the design philosophy with that. And there are people who will say, no, that's not true. You know, you just have to, if something's hard, you have to go somewhere else and get some better gear and then maybe come back. But it's just not true. This is also how BG3B. Progy Friend says, lol, that's not fair. Dragon's Lair was a Laserdisc game. At least there's some novelty to it being on Laserdisc. But the thing is, like, you go, that's like, oh, you gotta, you go fight the boss, and the boss crushes you. And it's like, well, you gotta go level up before you can fight the boss, of course. And so you go through the dungeon, and you do it, by trial and error until finally you get all the way through. And you get something that's like, here's a thing that will give you plus 1% resistance to fire. And it's so situational and so incremental. And all the level ups are the same way. You level up and you just get the tiniest bit of bonus. It's such a fucking grind. Pardon my French. I'm just not up for it. Brogy Friend says, PB, I'm sorry I mentioned this particular game. I just don't like Elden Ring. I just don't get the hype. And I played other Souls-likes. It's not a problem with Souls-likes. I played other hard games. I played other hard Souls-like games. There are other games in this genre that I've really enjoyed. But Elden Ring is just not among them. It's just a little too obtuse. A little bit too incremental. And I don't know. There's just not enough there for me. Anyway, how about that weather? You triggered PB. It's true. Progy Friend says, how about that weather, huh? Yeah, we got a little snow here in the northeast. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, it basically melted as soon as it hit the ground, but it was there. Okay. Sorry, I'm done thinking about Elden Ring. Soulfighter says, apparently blizzard conditions are headed here. Oh, in the northwest. Whoa. That's exciting. I feel like, I guess maybe you get some blizzards from time to time, but feels atypical. Okay, I'm done thinking about Elden Ring. Oh, I was just so disappointed by that game. Okay, we're talking to Joyce. Yeah, Program Friend says, do you get blizzards there? Okay, so Joyce said, these are unimportant times, detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late for the big time. Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth. What's the big time?
The revolution.
Ha! And what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Soul Foundry says, we get northern air blasts more than whiteout warnings. Okay, that kind of makes sense. When was this kerfluffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question.
I think it's going to be in the middle of the century.
The revolution began in 01 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved. It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzolf came along and overthrew the government.
What did this Zarath do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
No way.
Indeed. Zarat is a highly infectious microorganism.
It's pronounced
that destroys
microorganism.
brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Where did it spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself.
Cauterize.
Marzolf's government was overthrown in 08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
What came next? This is just a big exposition dump, huh?
Why?
Disguised
You
as
and
a
I,
quest?
officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie?
Let's challenge her on this. Our lives are very different from each other. Silver says, and the knowledge of tarot in Cyberpunk is very, very nice. I legit fell in love with this one. Highly recommend. If no one has played Cyberpunk, we have tarot cards here somewhere in the background. We're going to go to the big camera real quick, which we almost never do. Oh, I don't even have a hot button for it. Hot button? A hot button. Big camera. We might have to pan a little bit. Yeah, we got some tarot cards right up there. Bam, just a few of the trumps. Anything else new that's up here since the last time we've looked up here? We've got this sweet Starscream transformer that starts as a little plane, and then with just a little bit of finagling, almost none at all, he becomes a sweet jet plane robot man. Wait, and can we get the swords? Oh yeah! Froggy Frenzy says, I have a hot button for my horse in Elden Ring. Sorry, ignore me. So I've done tarot since I can remember. I've had my deck since forever. Oh, man. I had like a sweet, I happened into a sweet, not antique, but old-timey, relatively old-timey, maybe 70s-y, Italian tarot deck for a while. But I gave it to my mother to do arts and crafts with, so it is no longer in my possession. But I have dabbled with having cool tarot cards. Hey, Rakis, welcome. Says, I've been trapped for hours with a cat on my lap, but now she's left so I can watch stream. Oh, thank you to the cat, and welcome. Pierogi Frenzy says, can one do tarot alone? Is this a stupid question? I know absolutely nothing. I am also not qualified to answer this. I'm going to put Starscreen back. Okay. Let's get into this. Okay, so I'm gonna challenge Joyce on this idea that our lives are anything alike. Our lives are very different from each other.
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
Easy for you to say, Joyce. What is the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
The zone of control is
kind of
the
a weird
third
aside, okay.
incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
What happened in the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics.
Okay, I know that last one.
Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
Soul Foundry says you shouldn't do tarot on/for yourself. My cards legit get sassy and start feeding me junk. They seem to do well when I read for others, though. I like that. I like that the cards have a bit of a personality to them. I've been like this for how long? It's been like this for how long, exactly?
43 years. Hard to fathom, I know.
And what have we been doing all that time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell.
And after that, same... Well, actually, no. 08 to 19... 08 to 16, maybe? We had... It was kind of alright. Obama. But our 08 to 19 was better, I would say.
The 30s?
I don't know.
Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
No.
Get
It was
experience.
a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are.
She curtsies. Soul Foundry says, I did runes for a hot minute, and they were fantastic. I took it as a sign to take a break when one broke mysteriously on me. It was a rune about change, if I remember right. Oh, I don't even know how to interpret that, but seems, salient.
Welcome to reality.
Oh, we got reality checked. And I leveled up. That's enough about the
They are
times.
what they are.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want
That's all for
to
now.
have been of assistance?
Thank you, that's all for now. Okay, so there was a revolution. And we have a level up, which we could use to get another idea here, which is kind of more fun. Pierogi Frenzy says, is rune an alternative to tarot? Are they just carved runes? I do not know the answer to that question. Soul Foundry will have to help out. Lonesome Way Home. Oh, we already... Jamais vu. Name after name and none of them is familiar. Did we not already plug that in? Stop. Wait. I'm doing nothing. I have advice. I'm ready for the advice. My hands are off the controller. What do you advise? Should we wait to apply this volumetric shit compressor? To help with the body. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Revert. Why? Araki says, oh yes, that one is good. How can I... That's true. We do have to look at the body. Volumetric shit. Oh, I see it. Well, let's look at... Hold up. There's something else we can do for this, right? Because we could go to our journal and go look at our map. Go up and unlock a new thought slot. Okay, fine. I was gonna look at... Here's my other idea. Follow me while I fail to follow the advice. So we've got the not throwing up or whatever thing, right? Which is talking to the Hanged Man. Endurance legendary. In order to retry this again, we need more endurance. So what if we increased endurance so we could retry that skill check? Read the description on volumetric shit compressor. Okay. Compressor. Wait. I don't think that I can. I think I have to, like, find it or unlock it or something. Soulfinder says, runes are typically wooden or stone with the runes carved or marked on them. They're very similar to tarot and could be more similar than I know, but they seem more optimistic and less fate-based. Tarot always feels like this is your fate, it is your choice to change it. Runes feel more like less prophetic and more this is your power at this time. I guess you can't while you don't have a free slot? Alright, we're going to open a free slot. He doesn't have it somehow. Could it be that I'm bad at this game somehow? Yeah, I think I only have Jamais Vu. Is the only one that I could buy right now. Alright, let's go look at the body again. Let's go fuss with it and see if we can do something there. Otherwise, we should go talk to the strike people. Rex says, maybe I'm wrong. It's fine, it's fine. It's all good. We'll find... I actually like unlocking the thoughts more than just, like, doing a stat boost. It's a little bit more fun. Pierogi Friend says the mind reels. Oh, it's always like this. I'm trapped in a prison of my own incompetence. Every single day of my life. Look at the body.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes.
Why is it so bad?
Active decay.
He's about to blow. Cop's gonna blow Coop.
I'm not even allowed to throw up anymore. Maybe I can get some more ammonia. Let's talk to the gardener. Then we'll talk to the union people. Ugh, it's hard. It's hard to be this dumb every day of my life.
You're back.
You sound
We
surprised.
don't see a lot of police around here.
Well, I have
That's all.
some questions for you.
Of course. What can I help you with?
I am gonna need more of that ammonia. You should just do whatever you want, actually, because it's more fun.
Sure.
True.
I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
We need directions.
Of course. Where to?
What's up north?
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings.
That's all for now.
No problem.
What is this F the police business?
Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should drop this line of questioning.
I'm good.
She shifts in her seat.
Of course.
I gotta run.
Gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal with after all.
Oh, one more thing. Can I borrow your gloves?
Sure. Keep them.
Didn't we already
I have
take
enough.
gloves? We have fingerless gloves. I guess not. Alright, now I got the gardening gloves. Wait, I think it just didn't save. You definitely got the ammonia last time. Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's what we did last time. Well, let's try this again. Maybe something's funky here.
There he still is.
Endurance.
looking right through
Well,
you
at least it gives us
with
another
his
chance
white
to
eyes.
do this.
The body below is entirely dedicated.
Let go
to
of your
that
nose without throwing up.
corpse smell. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of you. The second time, not
Blap,
so
blap,
much.
blap.
When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
The ammonia didn't help at all.
Nor does the wind right now.
The weight is reassuring, like a crenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder.
Maybe we can just make Kim do this. Do it without me. I just can't keep it down.
No. This is a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers to complete. I need your help.
He withdraws his hand and looks you in the eye.
You need to get your shit together.
Okay.
We should go talk to the locals.
Oh, I got
Something
volumetric
else
shit
to do
compressor.
While the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet.
Oh my god, as
and
prophesied.
internalize it for special bonuses and effects.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Alright, we're gonna compress the shit in a volumetric way. Equip and complete the volumetric shit compressor thought. Alright. It's underway. Put back on those fingerless gloves. Does this mean I can try jumping and breaking my legs again? These. Ooh, this area. Okay. Walk up the thing. Good. No. How do I... Somebody says, holy shit, the lightning I just saw. We don't get lightning here ever. Oh, really? That's exciting. How does your cat do when there's lightning? Does it bother them?
A tarpaulin cloak
Nope.
is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it for their own.
Please. Oh, I can level up again. Hold up. Savoir faire. Araki says my cats hate lightning, or at least one does. And Silver says Tread hates all fireworks / lightning / neighbor noises. Oh no! And Araki says you didn't have to buy another thought slot, so you didn't use your level up. Ah, okay. Well, let's get some savoir faire. What am I
Is
supposed
aggressive
to
up here.
do?
The lieutenant looks
With
at
all this
but
extra
what the look in his eyes
savoir-faire.
is a
Okay,
mix of the envy of my interest and the wonder of a 6-year-old seeing a horse for the first time.
Motherfucker. Now that's a huge crane. The white checks unlock only if you invest in the skill, not if you just change the bonus with
Yes,
clothes.
that's one way of
Got it.
putting
Makes
it.
sense.
It's certainly an impressive achievement of engineering. But I digress. We were focusing on your cloak here.
Yes, let me just do some quick admin and then we will get that cloak.
A tarpaulin cloak is still caught on the railing. No one has claimed it. for
Iraq
their
says
own.
that was very funny. The stream just cut out on me as soon as you said motherfucker. Banned by Bezos. No. Hold on. Too late. I'm so sorry.
No.
Sure. Just be careful, okay?
Don't forget some clothes have debuffs. Oh no, what were we wearing? I have the pants! It was the pants and the shoes. Oh boy. We could have done it better there. You have -2 to savoir faire. Oh boy. I don't need that cloak anyway, I bet. Let's go talk to the Union people. When was the last time you saved? When did we start the stream today? Save Scummit. It's not the 4th of January. I guess The 4th of January. No, 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 no. We'll find another way. We haven't talked to the Union people yet. Let's see what that turns up. Oh boy. Jump Jams, a popular music mag. Awesome, free money. I was promised a place. Let's knock this person on the railing. Scab, asks a man with jolly eyes, tilting his head.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
What exactly is a scab?
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us.
You don't seem to like.
Everybody loses.
You don't seem to like them much.
Gotta be bloody stupid, freaking evil to scab. Or I guess scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who?
He looks at the mask, squinting his eyes as if he were trying to ascertain what they're scared of.
Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something.
+1 to save scum, or +1 to you not liking scabs? Have you tried talking to them?
We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time.
To not liking scabs. Ah, okay, okay. I'm not a scab, I'm a cop. He'll love that, Mr. Call Me Mañana.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money.
Huh.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
We know a bit about the murder. But let's just say what's a strike about anyway?
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike.
Okay.
Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Good advice. I'll be back. Tim? It says GRIH. This guy looks important.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
Oh. The man yells towards the harbor gates. His voice is the loudest of the lot, and oddly screechy for a man his size. What's going on here?
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
Pierogi Freddy says 25% of Unity laid off? Oh, man. Well, they can handle it. They haven't had a lot of bad press lately. I think their brand can take it. Okay. The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than anybody else here. No, but that does suck. Brack says, wow, this time it cut out on me when he said bastards. Twitch hates cursing. It's true. Twitch.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
Why should I?
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes.
Oh, then yes.
Ha! Couldn't handle us. Cause gives the workers strength, gives them power. We have a right to work!
He sounds like the shepherd from Firefly. Anyway.
Besides, we're not that different.
Like a lot.
It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
Regardless, I have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like, why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you!
He bellows to the gates.
We have families to feed you.
Not when he said that.
So do we, Scab.
The loitering man hollers in return. Who are all these strike breakers?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests.
This man is a plant of some kind, I guarantee it. The man runs a hand through his steadily graying military haircut.
We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
True, Kim. Thank you.
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
Alright, we'll be back. So these are strike breakers. Interesting. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor. I'm just gonna let the A-star get me to that guy. Totally real non-plant people love to say, I follow the rules of the market. The invisible hand. Everybody loves the invisible hand of the market in a sincere and real way, where they're not planted by a corporate interest. Who are you? The future belongs to Measurehead. Why can I not talk to this skirt woman? What about this one? Is that like Master Hand from Smash Brothers? Oh, it's much worse.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Okay. Oh, from before. Ah, I see you, Pierogi Frenzy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body.
Pierogi Frenzy says, I looked it up, not the same dude from Firefly. Dang. Yes, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Say nothing. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
Hey, welcome, Rangoet. A ripple of muscle passes underneath his skin. He lets you look.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Ham Sandwich.
Ham Sandwich!
You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me.
Puff out your chest, but still say nothing.
What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
He looks down at you, taking stock of your physique.
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic, and you feel your blood pressure rise.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend.
He is not a child. Kim? Toxic masculinity, the character. Kim, puff up your chest, but don't say anything, goddammit. Rangoet says, Measurehead is kind of like a hermit crab. That's an intimidating shell of muscle, but under it, he's pathetic.
Of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal
Ooh.
instinct, but it is a liability here on Battlefield Martinez.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying.
Your name's
his
Jean-Luc?
degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
My body is unimportant. I don't like any of these choices. I want to just keep saying nothing.
What is
Merely
Stop it. This is the
Okay, that doesn't do anything
His
different.
body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
This is where the physical skills are wonderful and get you punched. Good, good. My body is unimportant. I'm with the police and we need to get into the harbor. Flip.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to Al Ghul.
His face contorts in disgust as if he were smelling a dead rat.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al Ghul emerges from your throat.
Kim, arrest this man.
You cannot
How
see
dare
it,
he say that an invisible
but
sword of Al
others
Ghul
can.
emerges from my throat.
It is making the woman in my company sick.
Enough. I need you to open the door to the harbor.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the Ham Sandwich race. is
Sandwich
waning.
race.
show him the hand still got it. Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
The fat racist over there. You're just him after pumping some iron.
Look at my chronology. I am the pinnacle of my haplogroup. The pink blob is a bad example, even of yours. It's
Rangwitz says, "We are the police. Let us in." You say to the unhinged stoic
You
guard
are
of the
once a
independent
noble
union against your
and
government.
powerful race.
Listen, it's worth a try.
You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic
I like
aircraft.
one of those things.
You made great gains in metallurgy. race
I guess I like
theory,
metallurgy
and statecraft.
also. Progy friend says that face.
You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos.
It's not inexplicable.
Now
Potatoes are
you
great.
ascend to the genetic
You gave the world
summits
eugenics, says the racist.
You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will
It's called
be
K-pop.
superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
I mean, I love this character. Kind of says a lot when he praises eugenics against his people. Kind of says a lot.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
His lady friend is so good. Push him out of the way. Ooh! It didn't work!
Right. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world.
Oh my gosh, he didn't even flinch!
Bring your troops to the Seminine Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you.
That's considerate.
The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the oaths.
To what street? To Boogie Street. We heard it. Boogie Street is a real place. We heard about it. Has he name dropped his race theory yet? It's very funny. He's mentioned he's interested in race theory, clearly. I don't think we've heard the details.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Meshached's race theory. He would take you as one of his own.
Wouldn't that mean I have to become a Simonese supremacist myself?
Well, not as such. What you do with the mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist.
Time to level up our racism. Subscribe to his advanced race theory. Don't clip that.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Measurehead, I'm new to this world. Help me understand its races. I need to know what kind of races there are. Become an advanced racist, lol. Don't forget you also found that secret passage to the docks. True. The lieutenant looks at you. This is for the thing, Kim.
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you.
Kim,
He
shut
lets
up.
out an
Shut up.
audible sigh.
You are obviously a liberal, Sailite. A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself.
Kim doesn't understand real police work. Kim, the key to real police work is advanced race theory.
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty.
And Rangoet says, sadly, that's
Which
not
one
too far off from reality. I need to know about the Type A races, please.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course.
Of course.
The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding.
Drink this milk, Measurehead. Prove to me that you're not lactose intolerant, and we'll wait for 12 hours and we'll see how you do.
A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades.
Are the Maun Jews? Unclear.
Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort.
I guess they're the
Wearing
Dutch.
wooden clogs
They're wearing
on
wooden
feet,
clogs?
Little green tassels on their hats.
And who are Type A then, in your view?
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina. The ancient
Yeah,
meteoric
Dutch.
of Mateo by the golden Pisantic
But it's okay to be
Sea,
racist against the
the
Dutch.
Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North.
It's fine. They're tall. They
Schneider,
can take it.
all have type A race propensity.
Kochko are Slavs.
The other large mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as
Ooh, you talking about Oli? It's the lemon
They are
stuff.
violent in
Oleager?
expansions. But they have a
gotta look up this
glandular
word.
problem.
Soulfunny says I'm Type A about being Type B. Lol. Good,
Overproduction
good.
of seed.
I admire your obsessive
Sebum is
and
leaking
and
into
and
brains,
fastidious
making them
commitment
listen
to being
El
Type B.
Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more semen.
And who are the Semenes and Areopagites in this?
As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retrograde. The Semenese...
Rangwat says every Europe country will tell you it's okay to be racist to every other European country, and that's not okay, unless it's France. I shout for profanities across the ocean to France. It's good, they don't have to go that far, just across the channel, I suppose. No, it's okay to also to be racist against the French. The Dutch, not as much. They have a hard, they have a hard time of it in English. All the idioms with the word Dutch in it are bad things. A Dutch oven is bad. Speak double Dutch is bad. If you take somebody on a Dutch treat, it's where you invite them to dinner and make them pay for it. I mean, the Dutch can't catch a break, idiomatically speaking. So, but they're tall, so they can take it. I don't know. You can be racist to the Dutch. I almost talked myself out of it, but I changed my mind. Sam the Geek says it is not okay to be racist against the French. I'm sorry, a Dutch oven is great. We made dinner in one tonight. You're absolutely right. A literal Dutch oven is great and is very useful. You can put a little thing inside of your oven and have like an inception oven. However, there is a euphemistic meaning of a Dutch oven as well, which is not as flattering. Sylvania says the French deserve it. They did all the bad without doing any contributions. I'm being dumb, but also. And Rangwat says it's so okay to be racist to the Dutch. We wrote it into our slang. True. Maybe that's a good way to think about it. A Dutch auction is when you list something for a price for sale and nobody buys it, so you keep lowering the price until someone will buy it. So many good Dutch idioms. I hadn't really thought about that. Love the Dutch. You know what? Don't be racist to the Dutch. I've changed my mind again. What's the difference between the Semenese and the Areopagites?
The Areopagites are sleek,
Double Dutch.
long-headed. The Semenese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor.
Immutable.
Unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus. Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls.
So Hunter says I've never Dutch ovened anyone I love, I promise. Good.
The latter is perfected.
It's very
adapted.
rude.
Together they form
But I like
Semenoid
that it's conditioned with anyone I love.
Semeopagite superrace.
Implying that there may be other
That
victims
is
out
all.
there.
There are no more type A races in the world.
Interesting.
Nature was not capable of more.
Type B?
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Koikos and the Vacholier, they are mud.
So Hunter says I love that the double definition of Dutch oven here, and so Hunter says I'm glad you got that.
The Koikos of Grad, Hugo,
The Koikos, that's how you say it.
Chest et al. Are what you would call white officer in a suspect description.
You said Koikos. I've been trained to identify them as white in official descriptions.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Koiko appear white and pinkish, like a handsome witch. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, muddy, and ashen.
What a delightful man.
Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking Al Rul and smoking the degenerate tobacco.
We will not regret agreeing to this. True.
The Khoikhoi, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potage.
It's not inexplicable. You said that before.
The only thing they like more is divided into microscopic
Kim, fry a
ethnostates,
potato for this man.
like
Prove to him that nobody can
political amoeba.
resist it.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
And the Vachouliers you mentioned, let's not poke holes. Our whole plan is to be able to get this guy to be like, you're all right. You're a racist like me. Come on through. So let's not challenge him.
The Vacholians, halfway between Type A and the Racial Cauldron. True makes to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
What does Arts and Crafts Day entail? Giant Spatula says. I'm glad you asked. There's two things that we could do. This is on the schedule for this week. Tomorrow we're going to start the stream an hour earlier than usual and do some arts and crafts. There's two things we could do. Either we can build another Old West building, like when we built the Old West Post Office. We have some bigger ones to build now, so we could build a bank or the cat house or something. Or we can cut some little men from sprues and build some little miniature men, which is something that I've also had on the back burner for a long time. I have many men in sprues who need to be constructed. But I haven't decided between those two things yet. One of those things. Rangwood says, I want the fascist monarchy questline, and at one point you talk one-on-one with Measurehead, and all I did was say he is wrong because there is no king in his system, and he said I was wrong because I am not a sandwich person. Truly, two titans of debate. Cat house? Alright, let's see the cat house. Let's see what we got. Welcome, Evocator, by the way.
The revolution came to ravage.
I'm trapped in here a little bit by some wires, but I can disentangle myself.
Potato cards. It is literally an illness. A prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination.
Soulfighter says, I have a bug puzzle to build. I can post my non-progress and me getting distracted with OW and Cyberpunk? Please do. That's what the Discord is for. Hey, Colthing, welcome to chat. I'm about to do something sort of unrelated. But Colthing says he's right about the alcohol, though. It's degenerate. Degenerato, even. It's true. Don't the official recommendation from the Surgeon General is if you're not drinking alcohol, don't start drinking alcohol. Anyway, Rangwet says Measurehead also went on about how he's in a seaman club where they all train together to control themselves. So fucking wacky. Anyway, the cat house is, let's see, gotta use the big camera again. Bam! This is the cat house kit. Red oak cat house. As you can see, it's a brothel, but also it has cat ears, which is, oh, my hand's in front of it, which is kind of fun. So yeah, so that's something we could build tomorrow in our craft stream. Rangwet says, oh, yeah, kind of fun. Kind of fun. Catgirl brothel, exactly. All the cat girls and cat boys are available there. Okay. So that is an option. Giant Sebastian says, "Oh man, cat house, cat house." Okay, let's pencil that in then. We'll build the cat house tomorrow. Yeah, should be fun. We'll find a place for it somewhere in my apartment. Lord, there's already a bookshelf that has all little buildings on top. We need to put like that Tiger HeroClix you have in it. Oh, that's such a good idea. Oh, I don't have him here, but I know the one you mean. He's Suicide Squad guy, and he's like in a karate suit with a big tiger head. Sylvander says, did you know anime faces are based on cat faces? I did not know that. Evocator says, I assumed it was a brothel, but it was better than expected. Oh yes, only cat-themed HeroClix may live in it? Okay, deal. I'll scoop up some cat-themed HeroClix too, so we can demo them in it.
The revolution is fatal, familial.
Anyway.
A hereditary condition passed from the Khoikhoi to the Occidental. but not sexually. Probably through trade routes and potate acid. The prime component.
I like
of
the
potato.
conspiracy theory potato portion of this guy's philosophy. Sylvander says, I love Zug, but cats are my favorite pets. I do like cats too. Karen Kipashed with some cat ears. Good idea. And Rango says, this guy says words that sound vaguely like real words to sound clever.
Enough
Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of pseudo intellectual nonsense, isn't it?
Tips the F are a museum of failed chimeric experiments.
Karen
and
Kipashed with some
tragic
cat ears. We could probably do that.
They are tortured creatures waiting to
We
be
could
put
even,
to sleep.
Lord, what could we do?
Your morbid interest in
I gotta bring up
them
Microsoft
worries
Edge.
me.
I've been distracted. Sorry. Window, Microsoft Edge. Bam! Microsoft Edge. Okay, we could go to... So, I really like Steam Forged Games. They are a game company that I really like, and one of the things that they do, shop games, is Animal Adventures, which is like D&D supplement for playing as animals, basically. And they got a lot of good cats. We could get like the Cats and Catacombs miniature set. You get some cat ears from here, maybe, or like a cat face. Give Karen the little Sphinx cat face or something. There's some good options there. Oh. Would the cat ears add to her official height? Oh, true. And Rangwet says, also, you just got the thought. The ham sandwich race theory. What a name. Also, he's totally talking about the Irish now with these potatoes. It seemed like he might be talking about the Slavs, too. But yeah, look at that. Anyway, it's too expensive for what you get. But you might enjoy the Cats and Catacombs if it was on sale. And it would be a good source of cat ears. I probably have cat ears somewhere else, too. I just need to think about it. 3D print cat headband. We love us some taters, says Pierogi Frenzy. Listen, nobody's... no judgment there. Taters are fantastic. Dungeons and Doggies. I have one of these guys. I bought one that looked like Zug. Actually, is it here? It'd be under RPG Month. RPG 50% off RPG Mega Bundle for only $175. What do I get? If I'm somebody who's interested in Animal Adventures and Dark Souls RPG and regular 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, it's the perfect bundle. What did I want to look for? I wanted to look for exclusives. This dog I bought because it kind of looked like Zug. And the sword broke off, so I just cut off the other side of the handle. But I want to paint this up sometime to be Zug-like. Anyway. Brogy Friend says, Kopika are the best. Pasta dough made from boiled and mashed potatoes? Delicious! That does sound actually really nice. Anyway, what are we doing? Looking at this cool dog? Bam. Let's play this game. I keep forgetting that's why we're here. Chimeric experiments?
Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque
And Rangwat says, that sounds lovely.
Woman
That does
and
sound
a
good.
Seminese man. Only possible if the mother is Mesk and the father Seminese. The other way around, they fail to produce offspring.
Oh, that sounds like some real science.
The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair.
That actually sounds like a pretty cool way to live. Enough of CF.
Yes, it is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of CF.
Rangwat says, Measurehead Def took basic biology. This is Def, a sign of Marinaise's great funding into education. True. Now that we've been through all the types, do I understand advanced race theory?
You understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
Oh no. How do I word the mystery?
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Vasholian. Your love for
Let's not do that and try and
disco
punch him
music,
instead.
venereal disease.
I have thought about it. The chances seem pretty low. Know anything about this mug?
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Come on, this is your kind of thing. Got a beer? It will give you a buff. I
Stop
don't
showing
actually,
me
but we have a quest to
that
get
cup.
a.
I have no
to get a drink.
interest in it.
He had nothing to do with it.
All right.
Volumetric.
Oh, I've completed volumetric shit compressor. We can go look at the body again.
Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495
Nice.
gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
All endurance white checks unlocked. Learning cap for endurance raised to 4. Quest to get a drink. Me after work. True. Oh man, I started some more batches of mead the last few days. We have another batch of main quest mead, which if it comes out, I'm thinking of calling second quest mead after the Legend of Zelda second quest. And then a side quest mead as well, which has blackberries in it. And we'll see if that's horrible or not. I really don't know how it'll turn out. Rainbow says, by the way, endurance gives more points in physical health and volition and mental health. Oh, interesting. I wasn't sure if we'd actually be able to affect those things. That's good to know. Can I change my clothes to be better at endurance? Or am I wearing anything that is bad for endurance? Looks okay. Anything that would make me better at endurance? Looks fine. Put on the gloves. We've already investigated this fence. Also, have you been to Freet? Is that the gardener? You can buy drinks and heals
he
there.
still
Oh,
is,
no.
looking right through you with his white eyes. The
58%.
body below
We can do
is
this.
entirely dedicated
All right,
to that
42% of Piotr's.
smell.
I'm sorry,
Emitting
but I
it
have to
is
leave you
all
behind
it
and
does
enter the
now.
universe of save. I don't want to save scum. It's behind the racist lorry driver. Okay.
There. he
This way
still
we
is,
won't have to save
looking
scum.
right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell.
You also just
Emitting
haven't
it
saved in
is
an
all
hour. That's a
it
good
does
point.
now.
That's fair. Let go of my nose without throwing up.
As you breathe in, the odor
Eat it,
comes off
42% of
you.
universes
It's the
where
smell
Piotr
of
failed that
wine
check.
telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Oh my god, we're like 10 hours into this game, and we're finally going to cut down this body. Giants Badge says, save scumming is the way. I was listening to a podcast today, or some video game people were talking about save scumming, in particular in the context of Baldur's Gate 3. And I'm usually not a save scummer. I usually prefer to just try to live with the consequences. But somebody on that podcast, and this is, I give that context because I don't want to take credit for what is not an original Piotr thought, but raised the very good point, which is if not save scumming is going to make you have a worse time playing the game, then of course you should save scum, right? Like, you know, if especially because there are lots of games that don't communicate something well. Like you'll choose a dialogue option and your character will like do or say something unexpected, or you'll be in a battle and somebody will like hit an exploding barrel that you didn't see and blow up your guys off a cliff or something unexpectedly, and that just feels so shitty. Like, if save scumming makes you not have a bad time, then you shouldn't save scum, and I think that's kind of where I am now. Rangot says, fun fact, there's an achievement for finishing the game while never inspecting the body. And Progy Friend says, I did it all the time growing up, when I was young and dumb and full of saved scum. Nice. Progy Friend says, BG3, you must save scum. I never did this growing up, but when I started playing roguelikes, and for some reason, it's the same mechanic in my head. Sam the Geek says, Mass Effect did this to me more than once. Yeah, exactly. And, like, that feels so bad that, like, in those cases, maybe it is worth it to just save scum and just go back. Like, yeah. Evocator says BG3 loves to not communicate with you. Rangoat says it's hard to know as well. For example, though a well-designed game doesn't need save scumming, a lot of especially bigger games or more sandbox ones basically need them to not get screwed over. That's the other thing. The other point that they made about Baldur's Gate 3 specifically is that it's like a long game, right? And so if something happens in the game that's going to lock you out of interacting with a character or lock you out of a quest line or something, like the chances of you going back and playing the game up to that point again might be pretty low. And so, like, why wouldn't you save scum and not miss out on part of the game that you might be interested in? So I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, even though I've typically, from sort of a philosophical standpoint, been against save scumming in the past, I'm starting to come around to the idea. I think some very convincing arguments were made. And just so I'm not being weird and coy about it, that was the Easy Allies podcast. I really like their video game podcast. So there you go. Giant Spatcha says, BG3 is a DM who just repeats back, I don't know, what do you think is going to happen? Every time you ask a question, I hate it. Ugh. Anyway. Evocator says, I do think that save scumming is generally bad design. I mean, I think that... I think that if you find yourself save scumming a lot, it's usually... I think for most people, it's usually a sign of bad design. I'll give you a counter example where I think that save scumming is bad, which is the game Thea, The Awakening, which is kind of like a Civ game. We played it on this channel once. It's a Civ, but it has a weird card game attached to it. It's all Slavic folklore themed. It's weird. But I was reading the reviews of it, because I found the game very hard. And I was reading, not one of the reviews, one of the forum posts in the Steam forums or something about it, where somebody said, like, hey, this game is really hard. And you know how it is on the internet. If you ever say any game is hard, a million people are going to come out of the woodwork and say, this game is so easy, you're a moron. You'd have to be a stupid idiot to not be able to be good at this game. But anyway, so one such person emerged. And basically, in the back and forth conversation, the person was like, well, you just save every time before anything happens. And then the game is a breeze. And, like, to me, that feels like it would ruin the game. And so that would be an example of, like, yes, you might be able to persist or to do better in that game by save scumming every single turn of, like, a Civ game. But I don't think that's a cool way to live. Rangwet says, but save scumming... Oh, Rangwet has a better example. Yeah, I'm scanning ahead, I can already see. Save scumming can completely ruin an experience. For example, XCOM 2 is notorious for Iron Man mode without saves being how you should play. Because I can say from experience, save scumming turns it from a tense experience into a super frustrating want for perfection. I think that's a much better example, but that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. And Progy Frenzy says, if it's fun and doesn't hurt anyone, do as thou wilt. Generally agree, yeah. And Rengo says, save scumming is not good design, I agree, but I don't think every game needs perfect design in every way. This is a very interesting point. Checkpoints can be super hard to balance, especially more open experiences. Yeah, I know what you mean. Letting the player, I guess, correct me if I'm misunderstanding, but yeah, letting the player save anytime they want is kind of a fix for, or kind of elides the problem of having to design checkpoints really well. And so in that way can be advantageous. And also with XCOM 2, it actually makes it harder because it makes you live through long-term bad decisions and not learn from those mistakes. Oh, interesting. I see what you mean. Yeah, you can end up in a point where you're like struggling through a game with save scumming and kind of able to grind your way through maybe, that you should be able to, or that you should just like give up and start over, or get wrecked and have to start over or whatever. John Spatch says, I did not save scum until the end of BG3 when I wanted to preserve the work I did. Yeah, that totally makes sense to me. Also, I'm playing on Steam Deck and it takes like 3 minutes to load a save. Yeah, I think that's totally legit. If it's like, if you're like at the end of a game or something, it totally makes sense to like, I guess the kind of game design point that would really emphasize this is like games where there's like a big choice right at the end of the game, and maybe you don't want to play the whole game again to see the other choice, or you know, if you make a choice that's the bad choice, maybe you don't want to have to play all the way through again to find out, you know, to do the good route or whatever. And I think that's pretty legit. Giant Spatch says progressive save also kind of alleviates save scumming. And Rengo says, yeah, because I can say I was way behind on technology in XCOM 2, and eventually it became clear it was impossible. Right, and so you'd want to just kind of nip that in the bud instead of being able to kind of painfully struggle through, maybe. That makes sense to me. Anyway, the good news is, those are some of my thoughts about save scumming, which just happened to be on my mind today by coincidence. But right now, we get to elide this problem because we succeeded, so that's good. Evocator says, fail forward mechanics don't always work for the game, but I love when a game can do that well. Live with the problems, but the game has space to keep it rolling. It's why I like roguelikes, like Giant Spatula said. Agreed. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, roguelikes that just let you, if you really F it up, just let you take another whack at it again right away. Kind of have that nice, that ability to iterate on something without feeling like you're losing a ton of progress. Is nice. Anyway. Okay, as you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. Do they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Step closer.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders.
Interesting.
The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Inspect the boots.
The material appears to be ceramic.
Huh.
Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee.
I don't know what
The
kind
man
of job
wore thick polymer socks,
wears ceramic boots.
probably for padding. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you. Out of place somehow. These are clearly not boots.
Ah.
They're armor.
Oh,
Possibly
that's like
parts of
ablative
larger
armor. Ablative? Oh, now I gotta look up the word ablative. Because I just said a word that I don't know what it means. I just need to know real quick. Ablative, meaning armor. Let's look up that word. Ablative armor is armor which prevents damage through the process of ablation, the removal of material from the surface of an object by vaporization, chipping, or erosive processes. In contemporary spacecraft, it's most frequently seen as an ablative heat shield. Maybe ablative armor is the wrong word. Are there examples? Is it a real thing? I don't know what it is, even after reading the Wikipedia page. Okay. Ablative means it sacrifices itself. To blave? Got it. So would Kevlar be ablative because it gets wrecked when you shoot it? I don't know. I don't know about military stuff. Renguet says, yeah, ceramic heat shield on the shuttle. Okay, so that is ceramic. That's probably where I've heard it before. Okay, I believe that that's what I've heard. That's why ceramic and ablative are associated in my brain. Renguet says, Caves of Qud made me realize, though I like the tension and weight of roguelites, it doesn't always work. Caves of Qud's default mode is roguelike, and it doesn't work the best IMO because it's a huge open world with lots of pre-written stuff and grindy combat. So it gets quite repetitive in that mode. They also kind of get why they did that, because so much is randomly generated from lore, history, quests, and species of characters, and also the hugely varied amount of builds, but still it kind of doesn't work the best. Interesting. So you do have to see a lot of that bespoke or fixed content over and over. Sam the Geek says, no, it doesn't erode. Okay, we're going to learn what ablative armor is. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to learn something today. Transition, please. What is ablative armor? Please. What is ablative armor? Bing, tell me. Kevlar isn't ablative. Got it. To believe. It means to lie. Liar! Oh my god. Okay, so Kevlar isn't ablative. However, the removal of material from the surface of the object by vaporization. What would be the best armor to wear against a laser rifle? It's in Star Trek. Is ceramic plating ablative? How useful is it? It provides ablative armor. Bam. Ceramic plating. That's Reddit says. This clip of Reddit from 2 years ago on Microsoft Bing says ceramic armor provides a blade of armor, and that satisfies my curiosity. Okay. Renguet says, ceramics protect you from heat, but maybe not like guns. Right. That's why that pottery I shoot keeps breaking. Renguet says you can skip most of the main quest in fairness, but you want to get the quest, the rewards, and XP, and that's the easiest way, and generally level-based combat in open world roguelike gets messy. On the XCOM subreddit, #topical. Interesting. And Renguet says about Caves of Quid, granted you can use clever thinking and mechanical knowledge to skip a lot and become powerful quicker, but that's kind of later game knowledge. Right, you would need some familiarity already. Alright, these aren't just boots, are they? They're armor. Ablative armor. Perhaps this man is being shot in the shins by lasers. Pierogi Frenzy says a game that does this very well is Hades. Oh yeah, my brother just got a Switch recently, and he was like, what game should I get for the Switch? And I told him to get Hades. I thought it was a good rec. Now tell me that I gave him a good rec. Now you tell me. I tell you it was a good recommendation, and now you tell me that it was a good recommendation. And that way I can pat myself on the back. Renguet says, also they patched out freeze-drying lava to become rich quick. Does that work in real life? Can you freeze-dry lava? Pierogi Frenzy says it is. Hades is a masterpiece. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Anyway, these aren't boots, they're armor. Ah, no, it doesn't work IRL. Oh, well.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
What kind of armor is this exactly?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Where?
Under the hill. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE.
Huh.
I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
Soul Foundry says, I posted on Discord my reference to Believe. Oh, I'll check that out after the stream. What happened to the rest of it?
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days.
Why did he leave his boots?
We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. Okay. This is one thing he might actually know.
Maybe he was just wearing those boots? Understood.
That's... The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form. Ageless and synthetic.
The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive.
The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation of the ceramic with his index finger. Oh, he's doing one of these. Kim, stop contaminating my crime scene. Renguet says, so lava is worth a lot, but it burns up anything but a vial that holds 1 unit. But players worked out you can pour water on the burning water skin to put it out. After that was patched out, they realized they can throw ice grenades to stop the burning. And then that got patched out. I see. So the problem is that lava is just too valuable.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
Well, Kim, what size are you, dude? We could get you these ones right now. I'm not going to tell anybody. How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Wow. How about just the shoes?
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
Ka-ching, baby! Nod to the boots.
By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them?
No, that's not what I meant.
Of course.
The lieutenant nods often. It's part of his unplastic expression range, communicating both professionalism and sarcasm. This time, the latter.
Renguet says you can, however, still charm a merchant selling cloning juice and use that to clone them and repeat to get lots of cloning juice. Ah, cloning the cloning juice feels balanced. Cole Thing says Hades is worth playing just for the art alone. Oh, I agree. We've played a few Supergiant games on this channel, and they always look good, dude. How can this man afford such expensive hardware?
He worked for Cornell, like Joyce told us.
Right,
this
so he's a mercenary.
Equipment provided by a wealthy security contractor with state ties, way above what we have.
Let's pull the boot off.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
I live and eat danger. Grab the boot under your arm. Don't parse that sentence.
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Renguet says, except Transistor. Well, it did look good at the intro and stuff, but then looked all the same. I liked the look of Transistor. It had a cool design, definitely. Like the big USB stick sword. I thought it was pretty cool. So far, he says tarot card art in Cyberpunk is amazing.
Stop!
The lieutenant's voice is sharp. He looks at you with the boot under your arm. We're gonna pull this man's leg off.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Oh, his head.
Brutal!
All right, let go of the boot.
What's wrong with you, asshole? Why is he letting Goku know?
Aranguat says it did look cool. I'm kind of half joking about how samey it was. The enemies all kind of looked the same. I'll give you
I
that.
don't know, baby. I don't know why he's such a...
A fig?
Officer, if I may ask, what were you trying to achieve by putting on the deceased foot?
You know what, Kim? Just for that, I'm gonna do it. Knock on the
A
boot.
small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
Sounds fragile.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
Soul Foundry says, I need Cyberpunk deck, but legit, you should always have a deck gifted to you and not bought for you by you. Oh, interesting. It's like Harry Potter magic, like picking a wand, but it picks you. So what I'm hearing is that a cool tarot deck would be a good present to get somebody who is interested in that sort of thing.
If trees
What does
were
this
made
remind me
porcelain,
of?
This is what their cross-sections would look like.
Run my fingers over the lines.
The smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice the whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination: E50, 100, 1000.
Oh my god, it's my IP address. I'm being doxxed by this game. No, looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton.
Good. Can you read it to me?
He tips the drying ballpoint of his pen on his tongue.
X5415 6745 678222. Let's lie.
I see no reason for this. Let's tell him the real number.
We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
Soulfinder says 90,000%. Tarot decks are always best as a gift. The better you know someone, the better the deck. Okay, I'll file that away. I bet I can think of somebody who would like a nice tarot deck. And Rangwat says, does it always come? That's not like a specific, it's not me being cheeky. They're like, oh, I can think of somebody. Like, it's a good suggestion. Generally. Rangwat says, does it also come free with the cybernetics chosen for you? Ooh. Okay, so we got the number.
Slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Inspect the belt.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt.
Oh, it's like the thing
to
you'd
bronze.
use to strap down something to the back of your car.
This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt. Big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under 6-rotor airships.
Giant Spadge says, can I offer you a tarot deck in this trying time? I've been watching Always Sunny again recently. It's so good. I can't believe there's one season of It's Always Sunny. It's like season 4 or season 5, where just episode after episode they're just all bangers. I can't even believe it. They had one. I mean, I like the show just in general, and even the later seasons have some good episodes. Like the 2020 year in review episode is really funny, even though a lot of that season I don't like. But man, I can't remember which. It must have been. Now we got to do this. I gotta look. Anyway, there was one season of that show that they just absolutely dominated. It's Always Sunny episode guide. I'm sorry. I know this is like the millionth tangent we've been off on. I just need to know. Let's see. Not this one. Not this one. This is a good season, but it's not this one. It might be... Which one has the musical? The Nightman Cometh. Oh no, I'm not sure. I think I was thinking of season 6. Who Got Pregnant is a hilarious episode. Dennis gets divorced. Mac fights gay marriage. Yeah, this is I think I was thinking of season 6. Now I'm not so sure. Ugh, I gotta watch the Kitten Mittens episode again. I haven't seen that in so long. Anyway. What's also did I say about the game in Space Station 13 where I rigged a presidential election so the clown would win? That's what we do in the United States every time. It's political. Lord. Soulfighter says, if I could get cybernetics for tarot, I would never install them. Also just realized Misty in Cyberpunk has 0 cyber anything. She's the tarot girl in Cyberpunk. And Ranglet says, wait, what the fuck? Vinny Vinesauce got banned from Twitch? I don't know who that is, but oh no! For them. Unless they deserved it. In which case, good! Anyway, this is a cargo belt.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently this is the reinforced kind, for air transport. My brain tells me so. Remus is crazy. At least I didn't rig it for an old white clown for the 60th time. Oh yeah!
The local harbor.
We haven't had that many presidents. Come on.
Containers around.
We have had like 40 something.
They use whatever was on hand without paying much attention to
Unfortunately, that's the only part of that I can nitpick. Use 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. Has there been one female president? Not yet. We have a female vice president, so it could happen. It could actually, if during this stream, God forbid, the current U.S. president, Mr. Joseph Biden, passed away, then we would have. It's possible that we could have a female president right now because I wouldn't have seen the news yet, but probably not. Had a few female vice presidents. I think just the one. Sarah Palin. We've had female running mates to presidential candidates. One female vice president. Yeah, but I think just the current one. We're getting there. We're working on it. Look, it's a big country. There's all kinds of folks here. Some of whom they don't, it's just safe to run the same kind of people again and again and again in every election. It's just the safe thing to do. And so they keep doing it. But we're getting better. So, I'm sure there'll be more. I'm sure there'll be more female vice presidential candidates 50 years from now. Also, Geraldine Ferraro. Sadly, Geraldine Ferraro and Shirley Chisholm didn't win. This is the most Geraldine Ferraro has ever been mentioned on Twitch. This is a highbrow American political history stream. Rango says also the clown won over security officer or won over security officer. Very nice. Security, military people. They always have a leg up in politics. We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it?
Yes. The debrief we got from the Wild Pines representative appears to be solid too. A lynching is what this looks like. Our internal RCM brief said the same.
Rengwet says, when I told the vice president, they told security, and they didn't care. Good. A measure of apathy.
By the way, when you get the chance, perhaps you should ask me to share the RCM brief with you. I'm pretty sure you've forgotten it.
Okay, we'll talk to Kim after this. They sure want him to stay up there. That rope is reinforced with steel wiring. And Rengwet says, oh yeah, the whole election happened because the vice president wanted a president. Interesting. You had a vice president first?
Clean steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
How did they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
He points to the buckle, tying the belt to the branch above. They climb up using the kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Got it.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt.
Let's take a look at the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
So he's got a lot of ink.
His corpse is marked by stars.
What will mine be marked by?
Alcohol and heartbreak.
Is this a map of the night sky?
The map of the stars. I do see some similarities.
Oh, Kim, you
geological
nerd.
Charts.
I
Late
love
century
you.
Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular. Customized somehow.
Customize this, Kim. You're a big nerd. Ringwood says, also the AI had broken laws. I went in, they looked fine, so put in a law making them hide it was rigged. Oh, hide the election was rigged and left. Apparently they actually had broken a law and I didn't see. So from the AI player's perspective, I entered, didn't fix the law I said I would, and just added a new one, making them cover it up. Perfect.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates, and you feel as though you were only...
It says, I am a great captain. Oh, I need a business card that just says that. Just says, Piotr Bizzle, I am a great captain. Giant Spudge says, are you an astronomy nerd or a Greek mythology nerd? Oh, definitely a Greek mythology nerd. I just posted in the Discord today, there's a Magic the Gathering card that I want to build a commander deck around that's just a riff on King Midas. They have like their whole Greek mythology set that they did. They've done maybe a couple of them. But they did a King Midas card, and it's not a very good card, but for some reason, if I build a commander deck, I want to build the King Midas commander so bad. And the idea is it's going to be King Midas piloting vehicles, and that's the concept that I have. King Midas on a motorcycle is the concept. Rainbow says, also, the clown might have been replaced by a skinwalker, but that doesn't matter. What about you all in chat? Are you astronomy nerds or Greek mythology nerds? And there's some, there's some constellations and stuff. What is a commander deck? I demand to know. So commander is a format of Magic the Gathering, which as Magic became more and more hyper-competitive in the kind of two-player classic format, a new format emerged to be a casual format in which you choose one legendary creature to be your commander, and they sit outside of your deck. You can cast them, play them into the game from like a zone outside of your deck, so you don't have to draw that card. So they're kind of reliably available. And you have a deck of 100 cards. You can't have any duplicates of cards. They all have to be unique. And you play usually with a lot of players, like 4 or 5 players, and everybody has a lot of life points in the game, which means that you can spend life points and you're not worried about getting suddenly knocked out of the game and stuff. So people can do big, complicated, silly plays and things. And because you're in a big multiplayer game, there's more kind of politicking. There's some other kind of constraints about how you make the deck. But what happened is what inevitably happens, which is that then that format, which was sort of the casual go-to format, has become more and more hyper-competitive and more sort of analyzed by hardcore players. And I would say a person like me is awaiting now what will emerge as a new casual format in the next 5 years or so. We'll see. Could be interesting. Ringwood says, IDK too much about either, but likely Greek mythology. And Soulfighter says both Greek mythology and astronomy. There's some crossover there. Yeah, you could look at the constellations and be like, oh, that's Orion's belt. Orion is that lad from Greek mythology, maybe, who did etc. etc. Oh, remember the scene? Okay, you guys remember the scene. So remember the Lou Ferrigno Hercules movie? I know. I don't even know why I have to say that. I know that you remember the Lou Ferrigno Hercules movie. There's a scene in that movie where he throws a bear into space and the bear becomes a constellation. And now you don't need to see the Lou Ferrigno Hercules movie because that's the only good part. It is a movie that the whole time you're watching it, you're going, is this about to be a 70s porno? Is this a 70s porno that I'm watching? But it never happens. It's like the introduction to a 70s porno or the setup for a 70s porno that never actually becomes pornographic. It is an extremely weird movie. Lou Ferrigno is in it. That's probably all you need to know. You don't need to watch it. It was in response to like Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Lou Ferrigno wanted to make a fantasy movie, and the studio wanted it to be kind of hardcore and kind of, there were all these high fantasy sword and board kind of sexy, whatever, fantasy movies at that time. But Lou Ferrigno really wanted it to be kid-friendly, to have a broad appeal. And that's why it's really friggin' weird. It's a weird movie. Anyway. Giant Spider says, I think you can probably build an entire 90s cartoon series out of King Midas on a motorcycle. Oh, that would be sick. So he says, also my commander deck is Karn the Liberated because artifacts are my OG colorless picks. The deck is weak and I throw tantrums every time I play. I think that's my strategy too, Soul Foundry, is I make a bad deck that I know won't win, but will be fun to play. But then instead of having fun, I feel bad when I lose. That's my MO, definitely. Rango says, wait, what film is this? Sounds perfect if you want to get teased for 2 hours. It's Hercules. Lou Ferrigno is the man who played the Hulk in the Hulk TV series in, I think, the 80s. I'm sure he's done other things, too. He was the voice of the Hulk in the first Avengers movie, I think. I think he did the Hulk noises. He wasn't, Mark Ruffalo's voice. But when the Hulk was the Hulk, it was Lou Ferrigno, and then they stopped doing that for later movies. But, God, I can't stop thinking about him. He was probably in something else, but he's the Hulk. He's Hercules. He's fine. He's fine. Anyway, as if someone left out, I think actually. So here's the we gotta look him up. I'm sorry. Soul Foundry says, Piotr Bizzle, tell my friends this is how we should be playing. They're legit competitive, and I taught them. Shaking my damn head. If I remember correctly, there's some reason that Lou Ferrigno sucks, but also reasons that he doesn't suck, which I believe have to do with advocacy for people with disabilities. Now I gotta know. Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno, American actor and bodybuilder. Wikipedia. What? Let's just try to find the good stuff. Due to his ear infections he had soon after birth. Did we do this before on stream? He lost 70 to 80% of his hearing. Since he's used hearing aids since the age of 5. Saying his hearing loss helped shape his sense of determination in his youth, saying, oh, this is what it is. Okay, I remember it now. The thing that I like about Lou Ferrigno, even though there are a lot of things that I don't like about him, is that he is this big macho guy. That's his whole persona. But, and he's literally a bodybuilder and everything else. But he's very positive about the fact that he has a disability. Let me just read to you what he says. He says, I think that if I wasn't hard of hearing, I wouldn't be where I am now. Early on, as a youngster, it was difficult, but I'm not ashamed to talk about it because people have misconceptions about hearing loss, like who has hearing loss and what it's like not to hear. So I do talk about it. I think my hearing loss helped create a determination within me to be all that I can be and gave a certain strength of character, too. Anytime I do a movie or TV show, I make them aware of my hearing loss at the beginning, and that makes it much easier for us all to communicate and get the job done. Oh, and then later in life, he got a cochlear implant, which restored much of his hearing. That's good. Anyway, he has positive things to say about living with a disability, despite being Mr. Machismo, and I like that he walks that line. Anyway, here we go, down another Ferrigno hole. Interesting, this guy seems cool. I think that he has some uncool political opinions, though. But he's, people are complicated. You can do both. And we can like one thing about him and not like other things about him. So, there you go. Anyway, Lou Ferrigno. Yeah. I'm so sorry that this is what the stream is like. Anyway, people contain multitudes. It's true. And I like one thing about Lou Ferrigno. I also like, we're going to go backwards now. We're going to go backwards and we're going to get all the way back to the game. I like the fact that he was in the Hercules movie where he threw the bear into the sky and it became a constellation, which reminds us that there's an overlap between Greek mythology and astronomy, which brings us back to this game somehow. Rainbow says, like us, I like that we drink and get hungover, but hate that we are scared to lick drinks spilled off the table. Exactly, just like our character in this game. Oh, we should be more brave. Anyway, he's got these tattoos. It's a map of the sky. I'm missing something here. So am I. A sudden ringing fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket. Kim, we don't have time for this. We've been staring at the dead body for a full hour. We'll get through this.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun
under
his arm.
He's got a concealed weapon.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being...
Listen, we're starting to like the smell.
appears.
Ah, yes.
Some sort of camera.
Okay, he's got a little secret camera pocket. Pocket camera. What's that?
A Trigger Sunshine. Mini.
Cool.
Triggered is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
He produces 2 metal-capped ampoules and clicks them into place on the... I'm learning too many words in this game. I hate it. Ampoules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules.
Oh, I said it right!
I don't want to...
At least the same way as Kim. He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting, then...
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
The lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes. It is pretty cool, isn't it?
All right, Kim, settle down.
It contains insight to the victim's person. This was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Now, if you could find someone to decipher it.
Say nothing.
Here, a souvenir.
He
Don't
hands
lose
it. He hands you the piece of a rolled-up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by. His mouth...
I
moved,
wanted Kim to hold
and
on to
his
it, but he
skin
gave it to
as
me.
colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper.
Rengwet
Teeming
says...
with opportunistic organisms.
Also, I saw in the stream I missed, you were talking about this game's date, and it's pretty ambiguous or more fictional date. Yeah, I get that impression. We have weird sci-fi crazy shit like the armor next to Victorian-style cars, kind of 60s styles cameras and guns, but overall it is a modern-ish setting based mostly on our world in the last 100 years. Yeah, I get that impression. I think at the beginning I mistakenly thought this was like a near future thing, like maybe 50 years from now, but I think that your interpretation is much more compelling to me, now that I know a little bit more. Let's look at this hanged man in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just...
Dual monarchy was super
psychopathic
recently.
terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
We're gonna do it. Tell me who you are, dead man.
The corpse is dead
thank God.
silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
Kim, belay that.
Who is he? He is male, 4250, with an athletic build.
Back off.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself.
Let's
from
squint
its
and take a
stench.
step back.
Eyes like a shark.
Like a doll's eyes.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem.
Oh.
You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Oh my god, I like that we're sometimes pretty competent. Let's observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
I mean, that checks out. That he's been hanging here. His face and hands are pink, thighs too.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Relax my eyes.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
I think he was upright after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored.
Agreed. Especially on the neck.
Yeah.
The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Seems like a lynching to me.
Everything here seems to corroborate that assumption. But we should still get him down before assigning a probable cause of death.
Regwet says, and on where it's based, it's similar mixture. It's got a very Scandinavian style and aspects. French is the original language here. Apparently the more Asian-style cultures originally colonized this place, and then other empires took power. IDK if this is a Scandinavian thing as well, but the police pay in this def seems familiar to our British police force, and it's got stuff from 80s America. Yeah, it definitely seems like a not a hodgepodge, but I guess it could be a hodgepodge. A big old stew of times and places. Perfect turn of phrase. Something's coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud.
Melange! Thank you, Sam the Geek. That is a much better word than whatever I said.
Drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
I don't know if that's a lot.
The fuck are you saying?
Am I supposed to eat more than a kilogram? A pastiche? It could be a pastiche. I think I was thinking of melange. We got lucky.
Did we? I don't feel lucky.
More lucky than him, Kim. I think he's dead.
I agree.
His personality is no longer a part of the world.
Totally dead.
Totally.
Absolutely.
He's beaten up. See the bruises?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
Let's catch our breath.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
How do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Let's step back and take another look.
The cadaver slowly twists
on
the
the
cargo belt. His torso covered in tattoos.
Regwet says, Revelshul is a center for different cultures like American or Britain, but seemingly a place of many raw resources exploited by other governments, similar to many third world countries, and it has a global government, which is like the UN, but if the UN had complete power. Yeah, we're getting a little bit... I'm interested to talk to Joyce more and get a little bit more of that kind of world-building backstory. We've gotten some of that information so far, but there's definitely more there that we have yet to glean.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
Why don't we just chop down the tree? Easy peasy.
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder.
Or we just build a big mound, and then he'll basically be on the ground underneath him. There seems like there's a lot of dirt and stuff around here.
The cadaver is
I'm just saying we could apply some lateral thinking here, Kim.
Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
Oh my god, that's what I said. We could saw the branch. Regwet says, which is interesting because it's got similar roots to many of our old imperialist empires, but then it just continued into this giant global liberal government. Let's saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor.
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to
That
be
is
suspect
true.
in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
Well, let's reconsider.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Couldn't someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
You have a point.
Sadly, yes. The whole RCM is out there.
Oh
right
my god,
now,
they're all
doing
busy.
The exact same thing we are. Are we in a rush to help them? Not with this on our hands.
Alright, you're doing it, Kim.
I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
Maybe we could shoot him down?
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
Butt out, Kuno S.
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Oh my god, there! The buckle holds the belt together.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there
Oh,
might
this
be a
is
chance to reach the
fantastic.
Yeah, now we're talking. entertain a Kuno with some shit.
Kuno, come over here. I want you to take the shot, my boy.
They'll miss. The pigs will miss Kuno.
Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that could happen?
I'll blow his head off.
Take it. Take the shot.
We gotta peer pressure Kim into doing this.
Take the shot. Kuno wants some of that shit.
Yeah, Kim, take the shot.
Silence. With his elbow
Oh my
shut,
god, he's gonna do it.
the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm.
Oh
He drops
my
the
god.
paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks.
I can't believe we're doing this. There's gotta be a better way.
That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Easy does it, partner.
He's gonna fucking miss.
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
he feels bad about it. About his eyes mostly. Just having bad eyesight. Probably from a young age. Whatever you do not console.
Some people like to just be left alone after making a mistake. Ringwood says, this world is, or the country is controlled by this giant global liberal government, which is kind of perfect because the liberal government is just using an old imperialist trick with a new coat of paint, acting like they're good and progressive for everyone they're taking control of, helping them despite, all the hired mercenaries, armored cops, and lies, and also the fact they control all the resources. How progressive.
Fucking idiot. Mukabat asshole.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
Try again, maybe?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised.
I don't feel lucky, Kim. See how bad it feels when somebody says that to you, Kim?
Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals.
What's
we
now?
have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
Fine, what now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
I can try to shoot him. We gotta ask for help from the harbor.
Okay, they do have the tools and the men. And since it looks like they put him there...
They can get him down, too. This is such a bad idea, Kim.
Let's do it in the lousy, dangerous way.
This is such a bad idea. Won't it be dangerous?
To ask the suspect for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Everard Clare? Very much, yes. Which is why I would have...
I'm gonna pull on
preferred
the.
us to
I'm gonna
handle
pull
this
on the
ourselves.
body.
Clearly, we can't.
I'm gonna pull on the body, Kim.
Suck my dick, bitches.
Let's get to it then. Regwitz is well armed unless they lost their gun when drunk. Yes, true. But who would ever do that? What's wrong with being I know what's wrong. What's wrong with being indebted to Everard Clare?
He's a dangerous and corrupt man, and we cannot predict what he will want from us in return.
Yeah? Don't go being someone else's bitches. You're Kuno's bitches.
How do we get inside the harbor again?
From the gates.
Right.
By negotiating. Or fighting.
The secret route. Okay, yeah.
Or we can try the secret route we found. Where your cloak is.
Right.
It looked doable.
To the gates. Let's negotiate.
Let's get to it then. Oh my word. That could not have
Guillaume
gone worse.
Lemillion.
Oh, I'm Guillaume now.
Bad news. Guillaume Lemillion did not become a cop. In 38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite, amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
+1 pain threshold, and all psyche learning caps raised by 1. Regwitz says, how do they afford guns but not the money to properly pay their officers? IDK about the management here. I broadly agree that there's a misallocation of, you know what, I'll say it, a misallocation of police funds for equipment, especially military-grade equipment. In this particular case, they did mention that his gun is aesthetic and basic and a cheap gun. Frugal, they even said. So I think that our equipment is pretty much the least they can get by giving us. What did I do? Oh, okay. Close. B. True, you're right. The police can't afford anything bigger than a faulty pistol. Also, we got to get new glasses for Kim somehow. I can't believe we need somebody to help us cut down the body. Kuno, I need you to bite through the chains.
Kuno care?
I want to discuss the body with you again, Kuno.
The fuck about it?
There are contusions all over his body. Did you do that?
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting.
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
A contusion is a bruise. I'm talking about the marks or stone left on the corpse.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here.
Rangwat says, like you're in the middle of dangerous mercenaries and you yourself are the armed backup. True.
You hear the lieutenant hum.
Where's the rest of his armor?
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor.
How come?
Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
A mutant?
Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man.
Interesting. Good luck if you don't find the gun. Uh-oh.
Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
And Kim is down one bullet. What do you mean you threw it away?
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big.
How'd you get up there?
Kuno kicked that shit in the sea.
Oh my
Style.
god.
That shit means nothing to Kuno.
You threw it in the sea?
Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk.
Where in the sea?
You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gates.
What do you mean troubadour?
Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about
Yeah, I
cows
actually think
or
I
some
do
shit.
know.
Came around pretending like he cares about cows.
Yes, you met him
Yeah.
at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
You mean Manana?
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy
That's
about
a good
that armor
lead.
shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
You're telling me this out of the kindness of your heart, Kuno?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you two loser pigs. Kuno's doing pity now.
Oh my god, I friggin' hate Kuno.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
I like being called sire and my liege. More on this later. Right now, let's talk about something
You're
else.
testing-
Get lost.
I have more questions about the crime scene.
Yeah. The kingdom of
I don't have any
yeah,
more
whatever.
questions about the crime
Kuno
scene.
doesn't give
I'm
a
off.
Kuno doesn't.
Interesting. Let's go talk to Manana about this real quick. We got time. We got a few minutes here. And also, let's save the game while we're thinking of it. Because we did just do a lot. And I don't want to have to look up Lou Ferrigno's Wikipedia page again. The shortcut would be worth trying again. Also, Freet. Okay, my liege, says Giant Spatula. Ah, yes. Hey, man.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Freet is the house with the yellow sign. Right. Behind the racist cop guy. I'm looking for assistance with a dead body situation.
Body still hanging in the tree? Hey, that's a rough pickle. Can't help you with that, sorry.
Well, you're dressed like Mario, so now everybody's sorry.
I'm not really an admirer of dead bodies. Might be someone else from the Union can render assistance.
Does that mean you can let me through the gate?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
Man, Manana, it seems like nobody's given you any responsibilities at all. It seems like you're a pretty unimportant person. Maybe if you let me through the gate.
If it's all so simple, why don't the strikebreakers just go up the stairs?
That simple? I just walk in?
Aye. Walk right past Measure
Ah,
Height
yes.
and go in.
I did meet him.
Yeah, the 2.5 meter tall Semini supremacist up there. Walk right
Manana's
past
on strike. That's true.
him, then press the button to unlock the door, then go past him again, and you enter the arbor through the office. Está.
Gotcha. I have some questions for you first.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Kuno told me you were supposed to know about the armor.
The little boy had a good on his promise.
His promise?
To get me into trouble.
Huh.
To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
Okay, but I do need that hat.
What happened?
The guards and people working on important operations are the only ones working? Right.
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Tried
Like
to
smuggling
bounce
drugs.
into it.
Important. True.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know?
Sure.
So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
What'd you learn from the armor?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
Sure.
What else?
Not much.
I'm not enjoying
Technical
it.
stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
Okay.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The
Oh
helmet
my
was
god.
the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove.
So, the only thing that's left is the fingerless armor gloves.
So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing.
Oh, it's
the
close.
gauntlets and the cuirass.
Cuirass.
This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
Hold up. 4 parts? What about the leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
I'm ambitious. I'm gonna find all of the pieces.
All of it? There are junior officers out there, eager to prove themselves. I would leave some for them, and I would leave the boots to processing, but okay.
Kim?
Let's find all of it.
Kim, when we're talking to suspects, I just need you to agree with everything I say. Okay? We gotta have a unified... You gotta toe the line with me. We can discuss later, but just while we're doing this, I need you to just back me up. You're killing me.
It's implied. He finds it unlikely that you will succeed in this.
No kidding.
And Mesqui's epic then, all across Martinez. I hope it will be a real bonanza for you.
So Kuno used us to what? Scare you?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
Thanks for your cooperation.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He
Ah.
is sincerely grateful. He is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
Well, let's call it here for now. So we know we need to talk to Kim, and we can sneak in. We found a secret passage. We can sneak into this place, potentially, with a little bit of sweet jumping action. And we need to go to the place with the yellow sign, Friet, at some point. But let's do that all next time. We're going to be back tomorrow streaming again. We're going to start a little earlier than usual because we're going to do arts and crafts time. And we're going to build a little Old West building to use in the miniatures games. That should be fun. That'll be from 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. Then we'll be back with more of this game, which is called Disco Elysium. Good work. From 8 to 10 on Thursday, I believe. So, yeah, look out for that. If you watched any of this live tonight, thank you so much. Enter free quickly before you forget and save there. We'll save right here. If you watched any of this live tonight, thank you so much for watching live. Thanks for hanging out and chatting and bearing with me as we Googled not super famous people. And if you watch this as a recording or on YouTube, thank you so much for watching that way too. And until next time, I will see you later. Cool thing, thanks for the follow. I'll see you later.